Welcome to Talking Clean, the podcast where we will break down clean energy and healthy living into simple, everyday habits that can save you money and protect our community. I'm your host, Dr. Mary House, and I want to share with you why this is so important to me. Being raised in a poor neighborhood in Detroit, where resources and information about creating a healthier and cleaner place to live, it was not a conversation. We were just concentrating on surviving, just like some of you. So as I became an adult, my curiosity began to explore the many concerns of why things weren't like they should be. So in this journey, I began to find out what was not happening in underserved communities of color all across America as it pertains to this topic. And I discovered we just weren't exposed to nor given the resources and information needed to create a healthier and cleaner home. Now, fast forward, I knew I had to be a voice crying in the wilderness for people who looked like me. And out of this cry, this podcast was birthed. And together, we're going to explore practical tips, local resources, and inspiring stories that empower our families and communities to live cleaner, greener, and healthier lives. So whether you're looking to cut down your utility bills or make a difference in your neighborhood, you are in the right place. We are now at episode 10 with Melissa Ramos from American Lung Association, okay? So we're going to talk about clean electricity, building electrification, and utility accountability led to measurable health benefits. And Melissa, first of all, thank you for coming. It's just always a pleasure. I follow American Lung Association, and my dad died of lung cancer. So it has always been just a trigger for me, as far as a good trigger of supporting American Lung Association. So first of all, can you give us information on what is the American Lung Association?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. House, for having me today. You know, the Lung Association is a 120-year-old public health nonprofit. You know, we've been around forever, and we've been working to save lives by preventing lung diseases through our education, our advocacy, our research. This includes, you know, funding research for cures for lung diseases like lung cancer, ending the youth vaping epidemic, and then, of course, what we're here to talk about is protecting the air that we all breathe, because we know that if we can't breathe, nothing else matters.
Absolutely, absolutely. So why does it matter about Nevada when it comes to the clean air situation here?
Yeah, so air pollution impacts everyone across the country, but we're seeing especially here in Nevada. So every year, the Lung Association releases an air quality report card called State of the Air. It's every April. And this looks at two pollutants: ozone, which is more commonly known as smog, and then particle pollution, which is more commonly known as soot. So what we found is that 93% of Nevadans are living in a county with at least one failing air quality grade.
Wow, wait. Did you all hear that? I want you to make a comment. I want you to put in the comments about to give me a yes or a no if you even knew about, first of all, the state of the air, right, that the American Lung Association does. And it comes out in April, so every April there is a state of the air report. And I want to make sure that you guys are doing and following this, because I think it's very important that we even know what's going on. And to say over 90% has
That's
one
right.
failing quality, that's huge.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and we see that, you know, this translates into, you know, more respiratory and heart diseases. It makes it harder to breathe. And you see this especially in the summers, where we're seeing extended seasons of ozone. So that means, like, when you're, you know, say you're driving out on the road and you're seeing like these plumes of smoke from these diesel cars and trucks, and just the sky in general looking very smoggy. You know, we're breathing that in. Our kids are breathing this in, especially when it comes to school buses.
Right.
All of that smoke just going out into the air, that's making it a lot harder to breathe. It can cause asthma attacks, worsen just your heart and lung diseases. So it's extremely harmful to our health, and that's why the Lung Association is advocating for policies that's going to help clean up this pollution, and this is why clean energy is so important.
And you heard Melissa talk about the asthma, and you coughing up, or you like I remember when I came here, I felt like I couldn't breathe like that first summer. And when it's so hot and you're seeing it's so difficult to breathe, and you're wondering why is that? And you think, oh, it's just heat, but it's really the pollution.
Right.
And it's the ozone that we're dealing with. And Melissa, I just want you to talk about, I don't know if you brought them in. It just came to me about the statistics with communities of color and asthma, and our kids that have asthma. And you're thinking, you don't think that it's related. You just think that it's just something, my child has asthma, I had asthma, but there's asthma is something, I don't think it's something you're born with, I think it's something that you get. So talk about, do you have the statistics on why?
Yeah, so we, in Nevada, we have about 49,000 kids who have asthma, and about...
First of all, pause. 39,000 kids, honey?
49.
49,000. 49, not 49, 49,000 kids have asthma. Think about that. In the comments, let me know, did you even know that? And does your child have asthma, or somebody who does? Put it in the comments. Go ahead.
And we have 249,000 adults who have asthma.
No way.
Yeah, that's just here in Nevada. So we're seeing, these populations are disproportionately impacted when it comes to bad air days. And especially in underserved communities where they're already in neighborhoods that are hotter. Maybe they don't have proper circulation in their homes. So they're facing not only bad air outside of their homes, but also inside their homes. And that's going to lead to more asthma symptoms, making it harder to breathe. Like you say, when we're experiencing these seasons where we're just kind of coughing more, we're having some sort of respiratory issues. And that's all impacted by the air that we're breathing.
And you know what? It's so disheartening that we've been so uninformed.
Right.
And so we're trying to inform you. I'm telling you guys, you need a watch party for these podcasts. You need to be looking up, you need to be educating yourself on what you can do better. And so when you hear these statistics, and just for our state or our, that's huge to me. Right. And so, I just heard someone the other day said they had to go to the emergency room because of, they said allergies, but people, I don't know if people are misdiagnosing allergies from asthma too, because they seem to kind of they almost kind of go together. Do you have any information on that?
Yeah, I think there's, it kind of goes hand in hand. Whether it's allergies are still respiratory issues that you're experiencing, it is making it harder to breathe. And so, like I said, with bad air days, we're seeing more ER visits. More kids may have to miss school because they're not feeling well.
Right.
And then parents too. We're seeing that they have to stay home with their kids. So those are lost work days, which means less money being made.
Income.
So there's not only the health impacts, but as well as the economic impacts from poor air quality.
Right. And I've been telling you guys, I don't know, do you all have you even thought about your air quality in the neighborhoods that you live in? You have to just get involved, because you need to be, I'm going to say, I don't know where I got this from, but I heard some young person say, you need to stay woke, okay? Y'all sleeping too much, okay? Y'all sleeping too much. And so wake up and understand it's stuff going on, and our communities of color have been really, I call them not just disadvantaged, but even underserved when it comes to just getting the information. And Melissa, it just does me so, it just does warm my heart to have you here with me, because we represent a people that has been underserved, that have been disadvantaged. We're called disadvantaged, and I was like, but it's what the title's been put on it, but we've been suffering so much. What other things can you tell me that you would like to share with the audience today?
Yeah, well, we're seeing, again, air pollution impacts all people, but like you said, disproportionately impacts people of color, low-income families. There are certain neighborhoods in Las Vegas, you could take a look around, you know, East Side, West Side, they are hotter than other areas in, you know, in the valley.
Right.
And that's, again, driving up our ozone pollution, driving up particle pollution in the summers, and it's just, again, leading to these lung diseases, heart diseases. And when you take a look at also in Black and brown communities who are often already having underlying health conditions like diabetes, heart disease, now you add in, you know, bad air days.
Right.
Again, that leads to even greater health risks, greater health costs. And so we really need to be prioritizing investments to clean up this pollution in these neighborhoods. And so this is why we're advocating for clean energy, clean transportation, cleaning up the air in your home. All of these are different measures to address that pollution. And so that way we can all breathe healthier.
And so, you know, what I have here is switching to renewable energies. It reduces pollution. It improves your health. It creates local jobs. And it also costs, you know, the competitive cost of fossil fuel, it just, you know, drives that down. And I think that we, as people of brown and, you know, color, Black communities, don't understand, even with our homes, that there's things that we can do to just make the house healthier. And I'm gonna say this, one thing, I was at a conference on clean energy. Really, it was about a healthy home, right? And one of the things they brought up is, and even though we know the, I'll say the air may not be the best here, but just opening up your doors to your homes just lets out some of that bad air that's in your home. Do you agree on that, or do you have another take on it? Because I'm open.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's the outdoor pollution, right? And like I said, we can address that with clean energy, like solar power, renewable electricity. And then the pollution that's in our homes, like you said, making our homes healthier. I think the number one thing is, like you said, making sure you have good ventilation in your homes, which we know that older homes don't tend to have the best ventilation. They tend to be smaller, more cramped, and just we need better weatherization programs in our older homes. And so, yeah, just simply opening a window while you're cooking can kind of make sure that that pollution is going outside of your home, and at least you can breathe a little bit easier inside. Making sure your carbon monoxide detector is working, because I've been guilty of just hearing that beeping going to change those batteries. So if your carbon monoxide detector is beeping, make sure you change out those batteries, because it's going to inform you if there's pollutants in your air that's harming your health. And then, of course, if you have the ability to make sure, you know, invest in like an induction cooktop. I think that's just one way to kind of clean up the pollution in your home as well.
And again, open up the doors. I like to get up in the morning and open up my doors, because I think that's good. And that's what we need to do. Now, what I like to do is talk about a call to action that our consumers, you know, and our customers, our people, our community can do. You can look right and talk about it.
Yeah, so I definitely encourage you all to join the American Lung Association by joining our Lung Action Network. You can do this by texting LAN for Lung Action Network to the number 34727. So again, I'll say the number. You can text LAN to 34727, and that's going to inform you of all our action alerts when you need to contact your decision makers, when there's a letter that's being circulated that you can join us on, an opportunity to join us to go give public comment somewhere. So that's going to keep you informed of everything happening at the federal, the state, the local level. So join us at the Lung Action Network.
And then you said you have a state of the air report.
So we have, as I mentioned, our State of the Air report comes out every April. And this year, our 2026 State of the Air report is coming out on Earth Day, April 22nd. So go ahead to stateoftheair.org, and right there you can see what your air quality is looking like in your neighborhood and ways that you can get involved.
And so again, the call to action is get involved. And we need you for the public utility comments. We need you for the legislation. When they're got bills and they're coming and you hear about it, I need you there at the meetings talking to our legislators about why we want some certain bills we want passed and certain bills we don't. But we have to push it through as a community because it affects you whether you are there or not. And I think getting our people involved more is something we have to do. And again, I thank you for what you do for the American Lung Association. I thank the organization for what they do. With changing things in your home. And what we're going to do is do a whole podcast on a healthy home. What are the things we can do to make our environments? Because as we know, our communities don't have the extra money. But I do want to plug, there are organizations that do weatherization free. Envy Energy does come out and do energy audit. So you can go to their website and get an energy audit. When you talked about the carbon monoxide device, some people don't have that. Get involved. When you hear CH&R doing some workshops, we're going to make sure these are the kind of things we can give away so that you can go home and install them so that it's no cost to the consumer. And I think that's what we're looking for. Aren't you looking for stuff that don't cost you money? Okay, but it's going to help you, and not just stuff that ain't going to cost you money, the bad stuff. I'm talking about things that are really going to help you. And again, Melissa, thank you for being a part of Talking Clean podcast, and I just pray that it really just releases into the community and more people log in. Again, have a watch party, and I thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Talking Clean with Dr. Mary House. Remember, every small step towards cleaner living adds up to a big difference for your home, your wallet, and our community. So if you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, share this episode with a friend, and connect with us online for more clean energy resources. Just remember to think green and keep talking clean.